Your body is a haunted house.
Your body is a
Fuck that.
fucking mech suit. Pregnant women are meat submarines, and when they're in pools. What did I just say?
I mean,
Babies are meat submarines.
Babies are meat submarines.
They
No,
are inside of another being, floating in liquid, and yet they are not drowning. They are
are
alive,
pregnant women
well
Evangelions?
submerged in liquid.
oh
The,
my
preg-
god.
the pregnant woman would be the ocean.
The
I hate
pregnant
you.
woman would be the ocean?
Correct.
Is this a fucking Greek myth, buddy? What do you mean the pregnant woman would be the... That's like, my girlfriend is the moon. What do you mean? It's the
Unborn
same
babies are
shit.
submarines.
I don't think you understand... What? Actually... Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, he has a point. Oh, no. Oh, no! Alright.
What is sanity?
I
What
don't
is
know,
the
but I'm pretty sure it's
definition of
stored in the
sanity?
bones.
No, that is calcium.
Oh, yeah, and pee isn't stored in the balls, huh?
Oh my god.
No.
Fucking hate it here.
Every mirror you've ever bought is already used.
Your mom is already used. Oh, shit.
It is
He's
entirely
not
it is
wrong.
impossible to be in an empty room.
Uh-huh. So, like, everybody has the thing they would do if they were like, fuck you, rich, right? So,
Yeah.
like, what would y'all do with fuck you money?
Like if we're excluding doing all of like the nice things,
Yeah,
right?
like,
And we
like
whatever
not any
appropriate-
of the nice things, just a thing that would, like, intrigue you or you think would be fun or cool. Just, like, what's the thing?
I don't know if I can say that around minors.
Jesus Christ. What's that thing Tantan always says? No horny in Maine? Bruh.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's a really good question, actually.
Hey, yo, new interview
I know what it
question.
would be for me.
What is
What?
that?
I would go to a country where if you have the correct license, it is legal to drive a tank down the street. I would buy a
You
tank.
mean Florida?
Then I would... Possibly, I'm not sure. And then I hook up the best speakers to it. And as I'm
Panzerkampf?
going down the street, I start playing Never Gonna Give You Up.
Son of a bitch.
Rickroll the entire fucking country.
You should
Dude.
have seen this coming.
See, here's the thing, buddy. In Florida, oh no, there's some state, I forgot which one it is. I'm gonna say it's Florida because it fits with the narrative, but, like,
It fits with Florida.
you can buy a tank, and there are specific treads you give it that are made of rubber.
Yeah, civilian treads.
Yeah, and you can literally just ride that shit as your car.
Mm-hmm. I think you need a tractor license for it.
You do need a It's funny, you need a tractor license to drive a tank. Which I guess it makes sense, because some of the big tractors have, like, treads on them or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, man, this is a hard question for me, because, like, the first thing that comes to mind is, like, not something I should say.
First thing that comes to mind is incredibly NSFW.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Oh my god.
What,
I don't know, I'd probably say...
Huh?
Man, okay, if we're not talking, like, buying a house or something like that, and, like...
No, we're talking the evil things.
Well, not the evil things, just, like...
The troll.
If, like, go true chaotic neutral and do fucking whatever.
Man. This is a really hard question. I'm not smart enough to answer this. I'd probably, okay, to be honest, I would probably spend so much fucking money buying every single item of clothing off Killstar. And like 30 pairs of Demones. I just would buy a shit ton of clothes.
Mm. See, but here's the thing.
It's not
You c-
fun. It's like that's what I would do.
But, okay, actually, yeah, no, fair enough. What I would do is I would get 6, like, 100-foot by 100-foot, like, square mirrors, right? And I would get them locked together into a cube, and then stand inside that bitch and see what it looks like. Like, turn on a flashlight and see if I get flashbanged from every direction.
That's
Or-
pretty good. See, you guys have such fun answers. I don't know.
Buddy said a tank with fucking Rick Astley playing on it. For me, it's just, stare into the 5th dimension. Hot topic.
Then they-
That's the...
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't know.
But after I had my fun rickrolling, I would probably start playing, like, Sabaton.
Mm.
Panzer Battalion, Panzer
Like-
Kampf.
If we're going with semi-serious answers, I would pay off the local government to, and make them stop being assholes. Like, the opposite of what usually happens. Pay them to be nice. Right?
Mhm.
Nope, not possible. They're politicians.
I know. Dude, with fuck you money, it might be possible. Like,
Nope,
pay for
not
their...
enough money in the world.
That's true.
They're only politicians because criminal was already taken.
See, either that or I buy as many, like, 55-gallon drums of crude oil as possible and just bury that shit somewhere on my property. And then wait for the resource wars to happen. Profit.
No, see,
No, I
what
have
you
another
should
question.
actually do, you make a game. You make it so the intro sequence is Rick Astley never gonna give you up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you buy out YouTube and all of them, and make it so that the ad that plays is about that game, and it always shows the opening song.
So
I
you're
would-
just constantly recording the entire world.
Anytime someone sees an ad over any of those, or at least some of the time they see an ad over any of those, it's a Rickroll.
I would buy...
No one can avoid it.
I would buy Sony. And, pretty
The gay
much...
station.
Yeah, no, I would buy Sony and, stop, like, copyright striking everyone who uses 10 seconds of smoke on the water in a video.
Fair.
Because, like, holy shit, Sony, what the fuck? You're almost as bad as Nintendo.
I mean,
Like,
to be fair, Nintendo
holy
still
hell.
makes decent games.
Yeah, well, both of them they're good game developers. Are they good people? I think the fuck not.
They're corporations.
Yeah.
They
Reggie
are
was
not
good.
people.
Reggie was good. Bowser is He hasn't really done anything yet, as far as I'm aware. Besides, like, sue people, I think.
I have a better idea now. Now that I've had time to think about it,
What's your better
I would
idea?
just top like my top 10 favorite bands to throw like a concert festival, and then like always be on the rail watching it the entire time.
Bruh. Just
I-
basically
I-
just buy a bunch of bands and have them go around like fucking Barons did back in the day, like your troops.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I want to buy a troop.
No,
I-
see, you do
My own
that.
concert
However, at the end of some
Oh
concerts,
my
I know where
god.
this is going.
you pick a random band and you have them play Never Gonna Give You Up.
Everything always ends with, and then they get rickrolled.
You know,
The world existed.
imagine,
then they
just
get
imagine another
rickrolled.
The world.
heat in Cambria fucking rickrolling somebody.
God said, let there be light. And then he got rickrolled.
No, guys,
Instead of, and it was good.
and it was Rick Astley.
And it was Rick Astley. Let there be light. And it was Rick Astley. Is that sacrilege?
Only Rick Astley.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Crap, you've made me forget what I was gonna say.
Words?
Okay, so can we have it canonical in the lore that there was just like the day after Tantan got summoned, the entire world got rickrolled, and no one knows why.
Just like having a song stuck in your head. Everybody mentally heard fucking Never Gonna Give You Up in their head.
And that day was named the Reckoning.
The Reckoning.
The Reckoning?
There was
The
there,
Reckoning.
so what so like the Sansoning happened, but now that that character's named Onward fucking Onward Donovan, what do we call the Sansoning now?
It's still the Sansoning.
I
It
don't
went down in history as the Sansoning.
Yeah, but I don't think we can call it the Sansoning, like, legally.
I
The
miss.
name Sansoning taken by, well, is that copyrighted? Sansoning.
No, but honestly, I would prefer it, because the whole reason it was the Sansoning was because he was named Sans at the
Yep.
time.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, Sans is just a name.
And copyright is just a lawsuit.
True.
Yeah, but if you're not typically going after
And
that
prison is
Sans.
just a room.
50 BMG is just a bullet. Hitmen are just hired people.
God damn it.
A gun is just a knife.
A gun is just a knife? What the
Would
fuck?
you like me to explain?
What type of Ruby logic? Yeah, nah. Humanity advanced with pointy objects. That shit got advanced real quick. The pointy stuff
like me
got
to
better and faster and more
Would you like me to
explodey.
explain the logic here?
I
Go
would like
for
to
it.
hear the law.
Okay. The logic behind that statement is as follows. So, a knife is just a thing with a handle and a stabby bit, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so with a gun being a knife, the gun is the handle, the bullet is the stabby bit.
Yes, but
Fair
the
enough,
bullet
how
is
can I say?
separate. But the bullet is separate from the handle. Like the handle is not the
Knives
bullet.
there are knives that have blades that come off of the handle.
Yeah, but they
It's an
suck
actual
ass.
type of knife. No, it's an actual type of knife. You could have it like spring loaded. It would.
Are you
It-
talking
that
about a
means that-
fucking ballistic knife, buddy?
No, it's an actual type of knife. Like
You
it would just be a
absolute
spring-loaded
gamer.
blade.
Are you shitting me?
No,
Is this the
the-
next? Is this the next
No, I-
level of a switchblade?
I'm pretty sure it's an actual
Spring-loaded
blade.
knife.
Imagine,
Yeah,
imagine 1960s greasers with ballistic knives. Hey, Pally, we
I don't
got
know
a
about you,
problem
but-
here. Boink, gone.
I don't know about you, but I want a spring-loaded knife. That sounds like a lot of fucking fun.
I don't know why the first thing that popped into my head was I want a spring-loaded tilapia. Like, what even would that be? What is a spring-loaded tilapia?
It's
I
a
feel like-
tilapia.
I think it's a type of fish. I think I just want to fire a fish at someone. Like a t-shirt cannon, but it's just a living fish.
Oh my
Like bowl
God.
and all. You know what? That's my fuck you money decision. I want to create a gun that fires fish bowls.
Okay, but you see now. Do you understand why a gun is just a knife?
Cannonballs aren't pointy. Are cannons knives?
Yes.
Why?
It is a. You can have a dull knife.
That's what I was gonna say.
Imagine if you sharpened a cannonball.
I'm pretty sure that's just called polishing. I don't think you can. Well, actually, they did sharpen a cannonball. That's how the first bullets were made. I'm pretty sure the first bullet was a fucking foot wide because it was fired out of a cannon. They literally just made a cylinder and put a cone on top of that bitch and rifled the bottom of the bullet itself instead of the cannon. And then just
Would you,
fired that. It was fired out of naval vessels.
Would you like to hear a few more things?
That are also knives? Yes, please continue.
Well, first of all, I'm going to finish off the knife part by saying all weapons are actually just different variations of a knife.
RPGs create shrapnel, which are sharp, tiny knives.
Exactly.
Surgery is just
It's a
knives
knife.
with precision.
It's a knife that fires knives. Exactly. Would you like to hear another thing?
Yes.
The Germans back in World War II were designing a tank that, if it was ever made, would have been virtually unstoppable at the time, except
Yes.
to maybe an entire air battalion or squadron, whatever.
Mhm.
Probably it would have taken like 20 planes because of how much armor they planned on putting on it.
They were the Panzer Elite, born to compete, never retreat.
Ira, this thing would have been able to just slap an entire panzer battalion.
Oof.
You want to know what gun it fired?
105?
Yeah.
No, it was going to fire a naval shell. Like, they took a cannon off of a ship, and they were planning on slapping it on the tank.
You mean the railgun?
So it was... No, not a railgun. It's an entire cannon off of a ship.
On...
It do be like that sometimes.
Isn't that just artillery, but
It is.
mobile?
But bigger. Artillery was also mobile.
That's true, they put that shit on the back of trucks.
But you all know the other thing about it?
What?
It was going to be able to not only move under its own power, not only be so heavily armored that you most likely would need either a lot of air power or a naval bombardment to destroy it. It also would have had a naval cannon on it that you could use the tank to actually try and fight a battleship.
Could you...
Because not only is the tank a much smaller target, it also has the gun and can maneuver much more easily.
If the
It
tank
also
ran
would have
out
been
of... If the tank ran out of gas, could it aim straight behind itself and fire to push themselves forward?
Based on how heavy it was, I doubt it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You want to know how many engines they thought it would take to have it move at a reasonable pace?
How many?
They planned on giving it 8 or 9 engines.
Where can I buy this?
Did
Sadly,
you
it was...
You said it was German?
Yes,
That
sadly,
sounds
it never
incredibly
got...
American.
Sadly, it never got out of development.
That's
you
like...
look
That's like...
this up, or did you just play this?
Buddy
I
just...
looked this up like a few weeks ago.
Buddy just knows
or more.
things.
You do not question it.
Do not question
Buddy is
Buddy's
just
knowledge.
all-knowing.
But Buddy... I mean, honestly, at this point, man. So do y'all want to record the episode thing?
One second. Hold on, I've got this.
There's no escape from
Once upon a
monsters
midnight
they
dreary,
make
well
from
I
cum.
pondered weak and weary over
Welcome
many a
to the
quaint
cum
curious
zone.
volume of forgotten lore. Well I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow
Buddy
from my
spitting
books
bars?
of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating, then no longer, sir, said I, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there was spoken. There spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my side fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, now, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on night's new Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul was in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirge of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and busted door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee. Respite, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if, within the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
That sounds like an intro if I've ever heard one. Holy shit. Hello, everyone. and welcome.
I was just reading poetry from Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh,
Seems
man.
quite fitting this time of year.
Hello, and welcome everyone to the Halloween special of the Stupid Stuff Podcast. Today I'm here with Buddy, and this
Hello.
mysterious stranger down here. Yeah.
Michael McDoesn't exist.
We are here with Michael McDoesn't exist. In the
What's
flesh.
up?
In the flesh,
So to speak.
so to speak.
I don't exist, so therefore I don't have flesh.
Exactly.
I'm consciousness floating through space.
That's true.
Just like Tantan.
Does this imply that you are a cosmic, eldritch entity?
No,
Absolutely.
they are not a Lovecraftian horror, my friend.
But it's Michael McDoesn't exist.
would you know?
And they're very clearly sitting in front of us here. I think
No,
Michael
female.
McDoes
That
exist.
is worse.
Yo?
Females are more mysterious than eldritch beings.
Based
They are
buddy!
unknowable.
Based buddy!
At least with
Bruh.
eldritch beings, you get the lore. With women, it's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Bruh.
With eldritch beings, they are usually described as sympathetic in spirit. Not so with women.
Not so with women. Check my fucking date streak. Oh, wait.
You said that like I've ever tried to get one.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
I've
So-
seen enough in high school.
You've seen it. Jesus Christ. You say that like a fucking Vietnam vet. I've seen a lot of things. Terrible
fear no man.
things.
But women, they weird me out.
They weird me out.
Fair enough. I honestly can't blame you for that one.
Bruh.
Women
So,
are dark and mysterious creatures. Like a raven, but more so.
both the Raven. So,
Nevermore.
but yeah, so today, we're gonna be talking about some spooky shit, I guess. We picked some movies and games and various things that we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna go around the metaphorical table and
But
talk
first-
about this shit.
But first, the spookiest thing of all.
Capitalism.
woman.
Oh.
No, an angry woman.
True.
That is something you
That's
brought
when you're
up.
gonna see one.
That shit's
Reddit.
scary.
They will always be angry.
Dear God. This is quite based. So based. This is Bleach. I swear to God.
I'm still not entirely sure what that means.
I don't know what it means either. People say it when people say stupid shit, though. So I don't.
Why
I'll-
are you using words that you don't know what they mean? This is like buying clothes at the soup store.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Fuck you! So, yeah, buddy, you wanna go first with the spooky shit?
The first spooky that we are talking about today is the original Dead Space game. And despite what some people may say about, oh, it's not actually scary, or all you have to worry about is a thing popping out in front of you, that is simply not true. I personally am not all that scared by the things in it, but I believe Ira here has been adequately terrified, despite never getting halfway through the game.
Yeah.
I can ensure people think this is spooky while making fun of you. In case anyone had any doubts. Because not only in Dead Space are you alone, you also have to constantly watch your back, both sides and your front. Add into the fact that there is the constant ambiance of everything sounding like it's running or falling apart around you. It makes it very difficult to distinguish whether or not there's actually an enemy or it's just part of the environment sometimes. So the game constantly feeds into your paranoia. And then, if you're weak to jump scares, the guys popping out in front of you will catch your attention, and you will likely start screaming. And then, while you're busy just screaming and raging about the guy that popped up in front of you, there will be another one behind you, and maybe another on a different side. And there will likely even be one crawling on the ground. But wait, you have to double check. Did you kill that one in front of you, or is it just playing dead? Because that is a very, very real concern on the Ishimura. And then there's also just the space kraken tentacle butthole thing. I'm really not sure where they were going with that one. I mean, it's a difficult boss fight, but it's just a Spanus. A space anus.
It's a Spanus. Dude, I love the change in tone. You went from like actually spooky shit, like, hey, are they actually dead? To, I mean, there's this giant space butthole. I don't fucking know, man. It's kind of there.
Now, I will also admit I have not fully completed the game. However, I have run into a boss that is much scarier than Spanus. The other quote-unquote boss is one that you can't kill. At least, not yet, as far as I know. Because it doesn't matter how much damage you do to it. It doesn't matter what limbs you take off, how many times you take them off. It grows them back. And it just keeps coming for you. All you can do is run away. A flamethrower doesn't work. I tried that. The plasma cutter, the most reliable weapon you will ever find, does not work. Any other gun does not work. It just grows back its limbs, and it keeps coming after you. It doesn't even matter how fast you can run away. If you get distracted by its friends, it will catch up. All you can do is run and pray. But then again, you're not the first one to try.
Damn.
Damn. Buddy, you should do narration, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Cause like, kind of going along with that.
Spanus.
The Spanus. Kind of going along with that, a common thing I've heard about the Deep Space series that people really like is, like, throughout the games, you're playing as
Dead
the same
Space,
guy.
You heretic. It's Dead Space, not Deep Space, you heretic.
Oh, did I say Deep Space?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit, my bad. So what I've heard about the Dark Souls, what the fuck, with Jesus
Dead
Christ,
Space.
can I words? Holy shit!
No.
So
Your word privilege has been revoked.
okay, English major, shut the fuck. So
But yes, in all 3 Dead Space games, you are playing as the same one.
yeah,
Isaac Clarke.
and
I believe it's an Earth Gov in Dead Space. He is a mechanical engineer, I believe.
I knew an Isaac Clarke back in high school. What a
really,
dick.
that's unfortunate. Hey, bright side, he's gonna end up in a spaceship filled with aliens.
Fuck yeah.
Except he survives.
Shit.
God damn.
And he's the protagonist 2 more times, so he survives 3 times.
Well, that's
Unless he-
rather rude of him.
Unless he dies. He survived. How fucking dare you? It's like that shit I heard one time. It's like quite. It's oh, what was the thing? It's quite inconsiderate of people to die on the weekends. Like, I have shit to do, thank you very much. Fuck your funeral and fuck you.
But yes, the thing that is common throughout all 3 Dead Space games is that your opponents are not only the undying / undead aliens taking over the bodies of everyone nearby, that also manages to drive everyone around its source insane. you're also having to fight against the religious zealots of the Unitologist Church, who believe that the marker, the source of the necromorph infection, will make everyone quote-unquote whole. And
I see.
no, not whole as in Spanus. Whole as in all one.
So, but yeah, so the thing that people say a lot about the Dead Space series, or like that they say that they like a lot about it, is that like in each game you're playing as the same guy, but they don't do the normal thing of like every time they go in, there's like the new threat. Well, like there's a new threat, and like they'll react to that the same way you would imagine someone would react to a new threat. But when it comes to the old threats, they are less freaked out about it because they've dealt with that shit before.
Well,
So
when it
like,
comes to Isaac Clarke, yes, all the religious people are still sitting around like, yay, sacrifice, sacrifice.
sacrifice.
And I believe in the end of Dead Space 1, Isaac Clarke destroys the marker, which is what's causing all the necromorphs. Then in Dead Space 2, I believe it's something about he was captured or kidnapped by the Unitologist Church, etc. And they did something to him where they were able to check through his mind and find out how to build a new marker. And so they did that because they're stupid. So then he has to go and kill another marker. And I don't mean like a Crayola marker, where you use it to color things in. It's a giant piece of rock that somehow... It's a giant piece of alien rock that somehow turns dead people into not dead people with big weapons that I think used to be their shoulder blades.
Oh god, it probably
Only
was
now
their
it's
shoulder
more
blades
literal.
too.
Only now, the blade part is a bit more literal.
Shut.
If you do get into Dead Space, always watch your back. Always watch the ground. Actually, well, just about watch everywhere. But especially keep an eye on the corpses.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? They might not be dead.
So, Michael, what's something that you picked to talk about today?
So I chose my favorite horror movie, As Above, So Below. So basically, the plot follows this girl, Scarlett, and her dad was an archaeologist, and he was looking for the Sorcerer's Stone. Oh, if I could talk, that'd be fantastic. He was looking for the Sorcerer's Stone. So she has all of his notes and everything, and she sets out on her path to find this because her dad died. And so basically it follows her, a cameraman, her friend, and then 3 other people, and they all go down into the catacombs of under Paris. And it's shot documentary style, so it's like
Oh, it's like a found footage
sort of thing.
Oh, nice.
It's found footage, but it's not found footage. Like they make it out with all of the footage. So,
Oh, so it's just footage.
well, most of it. Some of it's found footage, I guess, because some people like died and the cameras were left there. But anyways, it's found footage style. But so they go into these catacombs, and basically, all this crazy shit starts happening. From seeing cults in the catacombs to certain things that have been haunting them their whole lives coming back and like literally manifesting in front of them and killing them. And I'm trying to, do I spoil it? Should I spoil the movie?
I mean, I'm fine with it, I guess.
Wail away. I did the same for Dead Space.
Okay. So basically, the plot of it is to find the Sorcerer's Stone, right? So they're making their way through the catacombs doing this, but there's a bunch of crazy supernatural shit going on around them. And so basically, as they're going through, different things that have been in each person's past are coming back to haunt them in a physical manifestation. So, for example, one of the guys, I can't remember his name now, but he left his little brother at a lake, and his little brother drowned. And so he always felt guilty about that. So he is seeing his little brother in the water in the catacombs and thinking that he's able to save his brother because he's seeing the physical manifestation of this guilt that he has. And so, in order for them to escape alive, they have to accept that guilt, accept that there's nothing that they could have done to change it, and move forward with it and say, as above, so below, basically, which means that as it is in heaven, it is on earth. As I create the world to be, so it is. So they have to manifest their own destiny, basically. It's a really good movie.
That's
There's a
some,
lot
like...
to unpack in it. It's a psychological horror movie.
Oh, I love those. Like,
Mhm.
psychological horror is kind of where it's at.
Yeah,
That,
absolutely.
like,
Because it's
as,
so subtle.
So, like, because, like, psychological horror is really just one of my favorite things in general. Because, like,
Oh yeah, because it's a lot
in-
better than slasher horror for the most part.
yeah, and, like, okay, so, despite the whole, like, despite the outlook on this game now, it really was good at what it did. So Doki Doki Literature Club, right?
Oh my god, I love Doki Doki Literature Club.
So in Doki Doki, for those of you listening who don't know, Doki Doki Literature Club is basically a dating sim, like a anime style dating sim, where you're at this high school and your childhood best friend invites you to join the literature club. And you're like, fucking sure, bet, might as well. And you join, and there's these three other girls. Wait, yeah, and there's these three other girls in the club. And they're, you know, unique, I guess. And so, pretty much you go about and you do these fun little mini games or fucking whatever, and you progress through the plot, and eventually you end up picking one of the three girls that you can pick in that game, where it's like Yuri, the short angry one, I forgot her name.
It's Yuri, Natsuki, Monica, and Sayori.
Yeah, and so so you're chilling, you're like fucking 8 hours into this game, right?
Mhm.
And then it's really just happy and cheery the whole time long, right? It's a grand old time. And then your childhood best friend fucking kills themselves.
Yep.
And then it's just a downward spiral from there. And it's like the game files change after that
The game
point.
files start deleting themselves.
Yeah. And it's like you can literally go into the game files and delete a character out of it, and it will like do shit in the game. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, it was just really good at what it did. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched the Game Grumps play it, and
I played it with a few of my friends, and it was literally like 5 in the morning when we got to the part where Sayori kills herself, and we were like all sobbing and like literally losing our shit. We were like, oh, we can't play this anymore. We gotta take a break for a day.
yeah, because like watching, if you have somehow managed to make it to this point and you haven't watched like a let's play of Doki Doki Literature Club, I highly recommend the Game Grumps playthrough of it, because you know they do it in nice like 15-minute episodes, and they're funny and they do good voices for the characters, and it's great, and their fucking reactions are incredible. Because apparently that game really fucked up fucking Dan, I want to say. Because, like I said, up to that point, it was a happy, cheery dating sim, and then it was not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, things shift very, very quickly.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't realize it, but that's probably one of my favorite horror games.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just executed so well.
It really was.
Alright, so, buddy, you had your other guy as, or your other movie as the Bye Bye Man, right?
Yes. It's not the best horror movie. I'm not even sure if it qualifies as a good one. But of the ones I've seen, it's the one that is actually the closest to horror. All the others have just been slasher films, which are boring because, as previously stated, if I wanted to see blood and gore, I'd go play or watch Doom. With the Bye Bye Man, it's more psychological. Because, well, yes, there is the sudden jump scare parts, or the part where it's, oh hey, they might die because they get run over by a train, but it's more psychological because it's always about don't think the name, don't say the name. And it goes over all these people that have tried and failed to survive or stop it or whatever else. Because it always ends up happening that someone remembers it, someone thinks of it, someone writes it down, someone says it. And then from there, that whole group dies. And then it goes through and one by one, all the people in the main cast start to die off. Then one of them figures out, oh hey, all you have to do is not be afraid of it or something like that. But then because they're all fucking stupid, the guy ends up panicking because someone's about to get hit by a train or a car or something. And then, because of them seeing something like that, it means suddenly now he's afraid of it again, and then they all die. So, really, it could have been done much better, but it's a good concept. Because it's all about they don't understand what it is that's killing them. Because it's so much the fear of the unknown, which is what a lot of the good horror things are based on. It's what some of the original horror stuff was based on, like Lovecraft. All that stuff where it's scary because you don't know what it is. You don't understand anything about it, other than it's there and it can kill you. It's like, there's a quote or something, it's like, I don't fear the dark. I'm afraid of what's with me in the dark, or something like that. Because if you can't see it or you don't know about it, then there's nothing you can do.
That is an interesting concept. I haven't seen the movie. I've heard it wasn't all that good, but I could see how that concept could be done really, really well if somebody really tried.
Yeah, so I don't think I have the brain capacity to talk about this movie right now, but I just want to say, fucking Cabin in the Woods was fantastic. Like,
Dude, it was so good.
Do you have the brain capacity to talk about this movie right now?
I haven't seen it in a hot minute, but I can try to explain the concept.
Hey, same on my end. Fucking go for it on my behalf. Yeah.
So to kind of briefly explain it, The Cabin in the Woods is a self-aware horror movie. It's one that makes fun of the tropes and slashers. So basically, to lay it all out, because you don't know all this in the beginning, but to lay it all out, The Cabin in the Woods is essentially sitting on top of a base that is filled with all sorts of different monsters, all sorts of different supernatural things, all these different things that could possibly be the, I guess, invading force, quote unquote, in the cabin. And you have your stereotypical group of friends who all go to this cabin in the woods for a weekend getaway, right? And of course, you have like your stereotypical couple that only wants to go off and like do shit together. And then like you have the virgin, you have the sports guy, like all these different things.
And then
And
you
so
have
basically, they go into
Shaggy
the
as well.
yeah. So they go into the basement of this cabin, and they find all of these different items, and each of these items are connected to a different monster or entity or being that is below them in this base, right? So they, depending on what item they choose, depending on the item that they pick up, what they look at, that kind of stuff, that determines the monster that then comes for them. So they pick an item. If I'm correct, I think it was like Zombie Family is the one that they picked. I think I'm right about that. But so basically, these people in the base below them were making like bets on what they would pick and all these other different things. And so they are literally being forced into a situation where there is no escape for them, because it is a scientific base to basically create these horror situations. So everybody dies except for the virgin, as per slasher rules. Um, and she is brought down into this base and kind of sees the inner workings of it. And I can't remember the ending exactly. I know there was some weird, like, cosmic being or something, like big fucking monster that,
Yeah. It was
yeah, I
like,
don't remember the ending
because
exactly.
I think, so, I might be entirely off, but what I feel like I remember happening was, turns out the Shaggy character didn't die, and so he showed up underground in the base, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, he had a gun, I think, and then the whole thing was the main scientist guy that we've been watching this whole time. It's like, you guys have to kill yourselves, or basically fucking Cthulhu is gonna explode out of the core of the earth, and everybody else is gonna die. And then fucking Velma and Shaggy look at each other. They're like, nope, with the power of what? And then the planet explodes. And it's it's good. I
Yeah,
like it.
so I'm reading the ending explained version here. So basically, they're told that the Ancient Ones won't attack Earth if the Shaggy character dies. So the Virgin is like, okay, well, I'll kill him, but then she gets taken down by a werewolf. Um, and basically everybody gets attacked by all these different monsters. Uh, Virgin and Shaggy apologize to each other for trying to kill each other, and then the Ancient Ones ascend to the surface to purge the planet of all life. So basically, what ends up happening is these eldritch horrors come to life.
Oh, so I wasn't entirely off with the whole Cthulhu thing.
No, yeah, you were right, basically.
Hmm.
But big ol' ancient monster boys come to life to
The
murder
Titans
planet
come back.
because they didn't get the sacrifice.
Yeah. Man, yeah, nah, that movie was good. It
Yeah.
was a good cast as well. They did good on the casting decisions. Because
Oh yeah.
if I remember correctly, they got two of the actors from West Wing as the science guys, and that was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. So so Michael, your thing was as above, so below. So what was your other movie?
Oh, the movie Lamb. Um, this one just came out. It says it's psychological horror. I would call it psychological supernatural, for lack of a better term.
Hmm.
It was fucking weird. Like just straight up weird. Like, I love psychological movies, and even this was weird for me. Um, but so basically, it's an Icelandic film, um, and the whole thing is in Icelandic, but there's very little dialogue. It's all atmospheric and just basically like showing over telling, quite literally. So basically, you're introduced to this couple who owns a farm, and they're sheep farmers in Iceland. And they, at the beginning of the movie, are helping these sheep to give birth. And one comes out that you don't see it, but basically they give these faces to each other of what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck are we looking at, right? So they basically take this thing into their home, and all we see is the head of it, which is the head of a lamb. And they take it into their home, and they're treating it like a child. And eventually, we see that this is a child's body with the head and an arm of a lamb, but a human body. And they are treating it as if it is their own child. And so basically, there's a whole lot of nothing that happens in between the beginning and the end. Like, quite literally, it's just mundane day-to-day life things. So you get to the end of the movie when things start getting actually interesting. So it's done in chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And chapter 3 is when shit actually gets fucking weird. So what happens is the father, Ingvar was his name, and the child, Ada, the goat child, the sheep child, my bad, they go out to try and fix their tractor that got broken down. And basically, Ingvar gets shot by a sheep man. He's got the head of a sheep and the body of a man, and he shoots Ingvar and takes Ada, and then basically the movie ends there. It was really fucking weird. It had no context whatsoever. It was just weird for weird's sake.
A sheep man was born, a sheep man was kidnapped.
Yeah, it was really fucking weird.
So is it
But so
basically just
basically what we
watching the
kinda-
life of this sheep dude, like, grow up or something? Or,
It's
like...
it more focuses on the human relationship between her name is Maria. So Maria and Ingvar, it more focuses on their relationship. And then also Ingvar's brother, Peter was in it too. So it more focuses on the interrelationships between the three of them, and then this child just happens to be the catalyst for a lot of things. So Ada is so basically they kill Ada's actual mother, the sheep, because the sheep wouldn't leave them alone. So Maria kills the sheep, which is Ada's mother, and this sheep man comes back and kills Ingvar for killing Ada's mother, and then takes Ada away.
Is it supposed to be like the sheep man is his dad?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because, like,
so
unless somebody pulled a fucking, what was it? The seventh pope, the goat fucker? Which one was it? It was one of them. There was one of the early, one of the early popes fucked goats a lot. So unless he came back around, moved to Iceland.
Yeah, so it really felt like there was some sort of maybe folklore that they were playing off of that I didn't know about. But yeah, so it was supposed to be that this sheep man was the father and had come back to take his child. At least that's kind of what we gathered from it. We were like discussing it over dinner, my friends and I were. But it was just a very strange movie. It wasn't bad. It was very slow paced, so if you're not into slow things, I probably would suggest not watching it. But it was very weird.
I don't know. I really haven't watched that many horror movies. I really want to watch the Halloween movies. Like that's a thing I want to get around to doing.
It's sort of like once you watch one of them, you've watched them all.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
kind of how
but
I feel
it's
about
Michael
most
Myers,
slasher
so
films. Yeah, that's true. Like it's a cult classic. Like you have to watch it. It's like
yeah.
that's why I watch the Nightmare on Elm Street series, is because they're cult classics. But I don't
That's
really
dream
enjoy
shit.
slasher.
I don't know about dream shit. I like dream shit and doll shit. I don't know about that one. Well,
Oh my
I don't know.
god, seen Freddy vs. Jason?
Oh my god.
It's literally Freddy Krueger versus Jason.
I,
Shit, what's his last name?
does Jason have dreams?
No, 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 no. So it's literally like Freddy Krueger comes into the real world, and it's it's just him dissing the shit out of Jason, and Jason just standing there stoically. It's the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen. It is so worth watching. It used to be on Netflix.
Like
I don't know where it is
I
now. Let me
remember
see.
seeing it on net. It's probably on Hulu. Fucking everything that used to be on Netflix is now on Hulu
It's on Hulu with the premium
or Voodoo
subscription,
rather.
but you can watch it on pretty much any other platform if you. It's on HBO Max if you have a subscription, and then you can watch it on any other platform if you want
HBO
to
Max
rent it,
has
pretty
like
much.
every Jason Voorhees movie. Like they
Yeah.
have a really good horror catalog in terms of slashers. Have y'all seen the trailer
Yeah.
for that new Scream movie?
I have not. I didn't know there was another one.
Yeah, they're doing like a remake of it. That mask will like anyone wearing that mask will never be able to be scary to me because it's just the slasher mask now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I know I'm watching Freddy vs. Jason tonight. Since it's
Bruh.
on HBO Max, like might as well.
Shit, yeah. Bruh. Man. Trying to think if there's anything else.
There's there's a good Netflix movie. It's also very slow paced, and it's also a psychological horror, and I have watched it probably 3 times and I still don't understand it fully. Which I don't know if is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's called I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. I'd suggest watching it if you're into psychological horror and maybe trying to figure it out for yourself, because there is a lot that goes into it and a lot of lore that you have to figure out on your own, but it's a good one.
Alright, well, okay, so this has been the Halloween special of the Stoop Stuff podcast. I wanted to do one of these last year, but scheduling did not work out, so I'm glad that we got to do one this year, because, you know, Halloween is fun, and I like it, and it's spooky.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm going to do something in this episode. I don't exactly know what, but it's going to be just a thing edited in somewhere. So, yeah, it's probably going to be now.